All right. Then we go to the next question. Noubi, can you give us your talk, please?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Donatus. And
Yes.
thank you for all the. Yeah. I will need to thank all the other panelists for their detailed presentation. I will quickly just they've spoken about it all, but I will just talk generally on how these challenges, affect might possibly affect the implementation of MSP in Nigeria. Going by what MSP, actually connotes, it's a public process of analyzing and allocating the spatial temporal distribution of human activities in marine areas to achieve ecological, economic, and social objectives that are usually specified through a political process. Yeah, I can say to a large extent that the challenges and the problems, being faced by various countries, although I'll be talking about the case of Nigeria, but I'm very sure that it's applicable to other countries too, could be drawn out of the definition of MSP itself. Talking about the political process that is involved, and also talking about the balance, between the ecological, economic, and the social objectives. So some problems are, could be drawn from all this, which affect most, countries in their implementation of MSP. So I will, it's a statement of fact that our marine environment, our marine space, particularly the coastal environment, they are not homogeneous. They are not homogeneous. We have different areas of oil and gas, areas of increased wind, talking about the economic value of such areas. We also have some areas that are biologically important, talking about the migration corridor, talking about area of spawning, area of endemism, area of high productivity, so many. So, but an effective marine spatial planning should be able to address this heterogeneity. Yeah, should be able to address this heterogeneity. So, few years back, I participated to a training course in South Africa, organized by IOI South Africa. There we were made to actually know some countries that have gone ahead, even in implementing the second generation MSP, talking about the Netherlands, the Norway, Belgium. Some are still developing, their MSP. And then only South Africa actually succeeded in submitting their fourth draft, talking about 5 years ago. So it's a clarion call to all African countries, to really key into the MSP. And most importantly, I see this MSP as a solution to solving some pollution problems, even in the country, in so many countries. So once our marine space is organized, is fully planned very well, then the issue of pollution will be greatly reduced. So let me now quickly talk about the challenges being faced by Nigeria as to implementing the MSP. And I am sure that I will be speaking the mind of some other African countries too. The first I have on my list is priority. We are all faced with different challenges at time. So some countries, particularly Nigeria, might not see MSP to be the pressing activity, which is supposed to be really. But it now rests on on the scientists, on people that they are concerned about how to better make use of our waters, our marine space, to find a way of actually convincing the people in authority of the need to actually implement the MSP, talking about the political process, as I've indicated in the definition. So these are, objectives that are driven or indicated, through a political process. So priority, is one of the challenges that I see, that is affecting the MSP, in Nigeria. So, and it's a call, for a collective effort of all the, relevant agencies, to push it, to a reasonable extent, so that the government, will act in, to also priorities is the one. Then also greater emphasis on the economic value. We are talking about balancing, the social, economic, and ecological, objectives. So in Nigeria, to a larger extent, we still focus more on the economic value, that we are putting, our marine space, into. And I'm very sure that, a colleague from Ghana that spoke earlier, told us that, the space for the oil and gas, has been identified, that the problem that they are having presently is to be able to map out the marine protected area. This is supposed to be, to be discussed, on an equal ground. As we are looking at the economic, value, we're supposed to be looking at the ecological value. We're supposed to be looking at the social, implication of mismanaging the marine space. So this has to be, to be discussed, on a parallel, on an equal, event. So, and also funding, it's also could be a challenge too, because I must confess, from all that I've read about MSP implementation in various countries, it is capital intensive. It is capital intensive. So as part of what we were introduced to during the training I had a few years back, was that we should, think of going to addressing this issue of funding by looking at transboundary engagement or collaboration, which also poses some level of difficulties. When I returned from that training that time, I was thinking that, okay, maybe Benin Republic is close to us. Okay, let's see how we can manage, the bordering waters between us, and try to start an initiation, process, to MSP. But we have faced, some problems that might come up. All these things, they are also tied to the political drive, of various countries. So what will have served as a solution, to us implementing, on a collaborative ground, with our neighboring countries, we envisage some problem also, ensuing from that. Then also one of the challenges, that affect MSP in Nigeria is the conflicts based on cultural and historical attachment, to some. There is no way you can, you can raise awareness or advocate, for the necessary sensitization in an area that people are so much attached to it. To those spaces, to those marine spaces, has been their, maybe spiritual ground or praying ground, or where they are, their socio-cultural, historical events, take place. You cannot now tell them that, oh, this area is being zoned as maybe a marine protected area. They will question it. There will be conflict, at the end of the day. And lastly, I will want to talk about waste management. Nigeria, we have huge population and it's fast increasing. So, and we generate waste in quantum. So, although, as a nation, we are getting it right, through the implementation of various policies, surrounding waste management, but it could be also seen as a challenge, that will, actually affect MSP, and despite that, MSP is, could be seen as a solution to, solving the problem of pollution. So these are the challenges that I could mention for now. I will leave room for others to also contribute. Thank you very much.